Welcome back to Help TV. Looks like he got his calculator. That's good. It'd be good for me because I'm not so good at math. But we're back with Kelley Keehn here. We're talking all about money today. We left off on one frustrating point for myself. But when you pull your credit report with different institutions, that's going to bring your credit score down. But you have a perfect solution for that, and I don't even know why I didn't think of this.
Yeah, well, most people don't. I mean, nobody educates us on this. But what you do is you pull your own credit report, a recent one, because that's not a hard hit, right? Doesn't affect your score, right? Take it with you and show it to your potential lender and say, I know if you approve this, you still have to pull an actual credit report, but at least that way when you're shopping around, or if you're not quite sure if you're going to get approved, maybe your credit is kind of suspect as it is, and you're like, I don't quite know if I'll get this loan. Take your credit report in, they'll tell you, no, definitely you're not going to get this loan. Great, you don't want anything pulling down your score anymore as it is. Exactly,
okay, that's a great tip. So let's kind of shift a little bit over to debt now and talk about consolidation, because that is, it's a positive thing.
Absolutely, and you know, it happens. You know, someone has a student loan, they've got some credit cards. Almost always, if you look at a consolidation loan, so now if you're lucky enough to have a home and have some equity in it, you could either increase your mortgage, you know, get a secured line of credit on it, something of that sort, and almost always your minimum payment is going to be much lower than having all the credit cards and all those other loans.
Well, especially if it was a mortgage rate, because a mortgage interest rate tends to be a lot lower than credit cards.
Oh, definitely. Even the best card at 10 and some odd %, and you've got a car loan maybe at something, you know, these things really add up, and you'll pay a fraction of the cost.
Right, and also it's probably better just to have one payment a month.
One payment, it forces you to pay it down, because most people are not paying their credit cards down, because again, if you just paid your minimum payment, you're never paying that down.
You're never getting rid of it. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about bankruptcy then, kind of the other aspect where you don't want to go, obviously.
Yes, absolutely, and unfortunately we're up 18% as of April with personal insolvencies from last April. So it's a major, you know, it's a major factor in Canada. Some cannot be avoided, but at all costs if you can. I mean, there's all these commercials of giving you a second chance, and I just feel that we're teaching our kids that, hey, don't worry about it. Yeah, you just, you know, walk into someone's office and it's all erased. It's not.
It kind of seems like it's just going to be the easy way out.
Right.
Well, there's always bankruptcy and then you start again, but then what happens if you've gone through bankruptcy? How big of a detriment is that towards yourself?
Well, it is, because it's going to show up on your credit report for at least 7 years. And oftentimes in certain jobs, in certain industries, you will forevermore have to report if you've ever filed for bankruptcy. And you know what, there are things that happen in people's lives that they can't control, illnesses, death, things of that sort. But before you make that final step, make sure you shop around, make sure you talk to somebody to see, is it really that bad? Because, you know, sometimes when you go into an office, they'll encourage you to do that. But I've actually counseled people and have helped them very quickly, and when I say quickly, 6 months to a year of, making some major changes, but turning it around significantly where they were in, you know, had a dismal rating to a very positive rating.
Right. Okay, well, you have a new book coming out. Do you want to touch base quickly on that, because all the stuff we talked about today is going to be in that book?
Absolutely. It's called She Inc., A Woman's Guide to Maximizing Her Career Potential. And at the end of the day, our largest asset is our ability to earn income, right? It's not our house, it's not our car, it's us. So how do we think of ourselves as a corporation? You know, whether we're an employee getting back into the workforce or we actually have our own company. It's a perspective shift. And of course, with that, our corporation, we need to understand how to handle money. So the second part of the book is on
the money part.
Yeah, it's the money part.
And Kelley has a great thing called the anti-budget, which we didn't really get to, unfortunately, but possibly it's in the book or one of your, excellent. So you can look forward to that, because anti-budget sounds good to me.
It's better than a budget.
It sounds successful too, but anyway, thanks again so much for coming in today. Hope you guys learned a lot. Now we'll head over to Kim.